Captain Ryan Mitchell stood tall in his army fatigues, the desert sun beating down on him as helicopters roared above. A career soldier and a man of discipline, honor, and loyalty, Ryan had served in the U.S. Army for 12 years. At 33, he had seen war, hardship, and loss, but nothing was more precious to him than his wife, Jessica. Jessica Mitchell, 30, was the kind of woman who turned heads in any room. Blonde, with piercing blue eyes and a captivating smile, she was the envy of many and the love of Ryan's life. They met in college and married just before his first deployment. For years, Jessica had stood by his side, enduring his long absences with patience, or so Ryan thought. As Ryan prepared for yet another year-long deployment to Syria, Jessica smiled and kissed him goodbye at the airport. He held her tightly, promising to call whenever he could. She whispered, "Come home safe to me," and waved until he disappeared into security. Neither of them knew this deployment would change everything. Loneliness has a voice. At first, Jessica missed Ryan terribly. The first few weeks were hard. Cold dinners, empty bed, no one to talk to late at night. She poured her emotions into daily phone calls and emails, but the excitement soon faded. Life at home felt dull, repetitive, and lonely. Then came a Facebook message that would set off a chain of destruction. "Hey, stranger. Long time no see," read the message from Ethan Reynolds, her high school sweetheart. Ethan had always been a charming troublemaker, handsome, slick, and dangerous in just the right way. Jessica responded, just out of curiosity. Or so she told herself. Their messages grew frequent. Then came a meetup. A drink turned into dinner. Dinner turned into a kiss. A kiss turned into a secret. Jessica knew it was wrong, but the thrill was intoxicating. With Ryan thousands of miles away, she convinced herself it was harmless. She began seeing Ethan every week. She deleted messages, cleared call logs, and lied about everything. Ryan was still writing her love letters from the desert, and she still smiled for the camera when they video chatted, but her heart had shifted. The betrayal grows. As months passed, Jessica's betrayal deepened. Ethan was everything Ryan wasn't: spontaneous, always available, and exciting. They went on weekend getaways under fake names, rented hotel rooms miles away, and made memories that Jessica told herself she deserved. Ethan, however, wasn't in love. He enjoyed the convenience and the secrecy. Jessica's emotional attachment became a burden to him, though he pretended to care. He often joked about her soldier husband and how clueless he must be. Jessica laughed, but guilt brewed inside her. She told herself she'd end it soon. After all, Ryan would return in a few months. But the affair gave her something she craved: attention. Ryan, meanwhile, continued to send her gifts, his salary, and his unwavering trust. He dreamed of retiring after one more tour and starting a family. Jessica never mentioned that she had stopped taking birth control months ago, not to get pregnant, but to avoid complications with Ethan. Red flags and gut feelings. Back in Syria, Ryan began to feel that something wasn't right. Jessica's messages became shorter, her video calls less frequent. She rarely smiled. When he asked if something was wrong, she brushed it off. Just tired. Work is hectic. Ryan shared his concern with Sergeant Marcus Kane, a fellow soldier and close friend. "Bro, if you feel something's off, trust your gut," Marcus warned. "When you get home, don't just surprise her. Be smart." Ryan took that advice seriously. He contacted Laura Green, a private investigator in Denver, and hired her for surveillance. Laura quickly uncovered Jessica's pattern: weekend disappearances, late-night meetups, suspicious transactions, and finally, photos of her kissing Ethan. Ryan's heart shattered. But years in the military had taught him one thing: control. He didn't call her. Didn't rage. He planned. The homecoming. Ryan came home 2 weeks early, a surprise return coordinated with his co. He didn't tell Jessica. Instead, he arrived at their home with Laura's full report, a duffel bag of gear, and a heart full of pain. He found the house empty. She was with Ethan. Ryan took his time, changed the locks, gathered all financial documents, removed his name from shared accounts, and began divorce paperwork. He even froze her access to their joint funds. When Jessica returned late that night, the lights were on, and Ryan was waiting in uniform. "Ryan? Oh my God, what are you doing here?" she gasped, dropping her purse. I live here. At least I used to, he said coldly. She stammered, tried to hug him, but he stepped back. Don't touch me. Then he dropped a manila envelope on the table. Photos, receipts, hotel bookings, all proof of her affair. Jessica's face turned pale. Ryan, it's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like, he replied. A soldier's revenge. Ryan didn't scream. He didn't curse. He didn't ask why. He simply left. Jessica begged him to talk, but he had already filed for divorce. He demanded the house, citing her adultery. His lawyer ensured she would walk away with nothing. In the following weeks, Jessica's world crumbled. Ryan shut off her access to the bank, canceled her car insurance, and exposed her to her family and friends. Ethan? He disappeared the moment things got serious. I'm not looking for drama, he told her. Blocked her number. Vanished. Jessica lost her job after showing up late and crying in meetings. Her landlord, fed up with her instability, evicted her. Meanwhile, Ryan began seeing someone new, Emily Carter, a quiet nurse he met during rehab training. She was kind, genuine, and knew about pain. She didn't rush him. She simply listened. Karma in high heels. Jessica tried to rebuild her life, but the shame clung to her like a bad tattoo. Mutual friends chose Ryan. Her own sister refused to speak to her. She saw Ryan once in court, sharp suit, head high, Emily by his side. Jessica cried, begged for forgiveness, but Ryan walked past her like she never existed. The court sided with him. He kept the house, savings, and even the dog. Jessica walked away with 2 suitcases and a mountain of regret. Ethan eventually resurfaced, dating a younger woman, living off someone else again. Jessica realized he'd never loved her. She had destroyed her life for a fling. She began working as a waitress in a diner, living in a rented room, invisible to the world she once ruled. Rising from the ashes, Ryan flourished. He retired from the army and started a security consulting business with Marcus. His bond with Emily grew stronger. She loved him for his scars, not in spite of them. They married 2 years later in a quiet ceremony. Ryan gave a speech that left the entire room silent. Trust is the foundation of love. When it's broken, it can't always be rebuilt. But strength comes from rising again, even when everything falls apart. Jessica wasn't invited. She watched the wedding on social media, tears falling silently in a dark room. She'd become the cautionary tale people whispered about, the wife who threw away everything. The final lesson. 5 years later, Jessica bumped into Ryan at a gas station. He looked different, calm, stronger, truly happy. Emily was in the car with their toddler. Jessica managed a weak smile. You look good. Ryan nodded. Thanks. I'm sorry, Ryan. I really am. He looked at her for a long moment. I forgave you a long time ago, but I'll never forget. He walked away without bitterness. Jessica stood there, staring at the man she once betrayed, the man who got his revenge, not with anger, but with success.